Conversation, honey, very good. Let's see. I want to say one other thing real quick. Y'all see my dress? This was my mama's dress when I was 10 years old. She wore this dress when I was in 5th grade on Easter. And I said, Mama, when I grow up, I want that dress. And so since it was, flowers, I said, oh, tonight's the perfect night. So I brought my mama with me tonight. Right?
Hey, Johnny. So I appreciate your comment, but let's look at it from this perspective, right? Especially if we're going to use the Bible. Matthew 22, verses 30 through 33, I believe it is, when Christ tells them that in the resurrection, there is no marrying or giving in marriage, right? But that God is the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. Right? He says, is it not written? Do you not remember it being written that God says he's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? And then he says, but God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. So we have to understand the difference between those who have passed on that we consider dead and those who have passed on that we consider living. Because there are those who have passed on that are still alive. There's a difference. There are people who are, who have lived amazing, exemplary, wisdom-filled, experience-filled lives that have something to share with us after they pass. And then there are those who did not live great lives and did not make it into the great cloud of witnesses, as the Bible calls it, or those people who have accomplished great things in their lives that have something exemplary to model, right? Those people who in our families were drug addicts or murderers or thieves, or what I'm saying, like those people who did not contribute to society in a positive way, right? Those people, when they are buried or when they die, are not considered the living. They are considered the dead. But the people who have gone on to be in another form, who have gone on to be in heaven, who have gone on to be in the ancestral realm, whatever you want to call it, right? Those people live on because we speak their names. We call them out every day when we tell a story about something they did in their life. When we talk about what they accomplished. When we talk about, we wouldn't have this land if great-great-grandfather didn't do X, Y, and Z. They live on in our memories. They live on not even only in our memories, but they also live on in our DNA, in our flesh, in us, right? So you have to look at this from two different perspectives. When it says, for the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything, neither have they any more a reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. It's talking about their memory. The memory of them is forgotten. We don't want to remember the thieves and the drug dealers and the murderers in our family. We don't want to bring that energy back into this realm. So what you're quoting here is not talking about our ancestors who live. This is talking about people that we don't want to remember. You have to understand this, because even in the Bible, Jesus Christ in the mountain spoke during prayer with Moses and Elijah. Did he not? He spoke with Moses and Elijah, who were dead for thousands of years. Something to think about. Something to think about. So remember, the entire Bible is talking about ancestry. So-and-so begat so-and-so and begat so-and-so and begat so-and-so and begat so-and-so. All the way down the line. Why? Because ancestry is important. Very important. But ancestry as it pertains to those that we want to remember. And this video that you're responding to is how we remember. Doing things like this, going to their grave sites, wearing their clothes, putting on the same perfume that they used to wear, cooking the food that they like, so on and so forth. We are bringing back their memory. And in bringing back their memory, we activate their spirit in us and around us to be felt, to be communed with. This is important. This is a biblical principle that Christ spoke about in Matthew, in Mark, in Luke. God is not the God of the dead. God is the God of the living, which means those who have died and live good lives are not dead. They are alive and well. They just don't have physical bodies. I appreciate you. Odabo.